Hey everyone. Late July here, and I wanted to do a quick video. I'm out here scouting in North Dakota and wanted to touch on what I think would make for like the ideal early season morning hunt. And this isn't just for early season. Like, I'd feel fantastic about climbing into this tree at any time of year, but early seasons can be tough, obviously, when you're trying to get on a bigger buck in the morning. And so it kind of takes an ideal setup to feel good about being able to get in here and feel confident about potentially having a shot at a big deer. But I've done a number of morning sets over the years when I'm on state hunts, because I'm out there for 2-3 day periods. And I may be able to hunt this state only 5-6 days a year total. And they're usually broken up into 2 different chunks. So when I'm out here, I feel like I want to hunt. So kind of describing the situation, we have I'm in a big oxbow on a river system, and it's an oxbow where the tip of the oxbow comes back and it's going to face to the kind of northern direction. And deer bed in here all the time, does, bucks, and then about, I'd say 300-400 yards away across a road is a nice lush bean field right now. So the idea is going to be they'll be feeding in there during dark and stuff, and then slipping back here through thick security cover before getting back to bed. So I'm going to turn the phone around here and show you what we found. All right, so scouting 2 years ago on opening weekend of archery season, I decided to get out of the tree and just do like a scouting mission for later in the year. And when I was scouting this oxbow, I came down into this low ground area and bumped off a really nice buck. Scared him up. He was with a doe and another 6-pointer. So we came back down here today. I had marked that on Onyx to make sure I knew where it was and stuff, and came back in here today and just to see, like, had another buck taken this over. And sure enough, you can see how it's just worn to the mud here. Track everywhere in it. Yeah, there's track all over in it. There's some droppings and some hair in there. And it's got this nice big deadfall here that provides nice cover. It's like, I mean, you can feel how much cooler it is down here. So the sign here, like, we followed this trail. There's a trail kind of right that goes right through here, and that's what we followed in. So they're exiting there, coming around here. There's a trail. There's another trail that runs through the low ground dry riverbed here. But like what looks to be like the main trail coming into this bed, which makes sense, and I'll explain it in a second, is right through here. Coming through here, going back this direction, comes back through here, and then it just, at some point, it kind of parallels this side trail here and goes back that direction. So what we did was, what makes this spot so ideal, especially for the early season, when you want a buck to have to travel a ways to get back to bed, which he's going to have to do coming from that bean field a ways off. We prepped, coming right down this trail, we prepped that tree right there that I'm going to be able to climb up in my saddle with. And it should work out perfect, because I'm going to hunt it on a northwest wind, which is going to be blowing back this direction. So if a buck does what you always hear about them doing when they're coming back to bed in the morning, is kind of J-hooking into that bed with the wind in their face, he would have to take this. This would be the natural trail for him to take, coming down this direction, coming right through here, J-hooking back into this bed. And there's so much, there's nettle in here that they're browsing on. There's young ragweed. That's all. There's ragweed up over in that direction that we've noticed good browse in here. So like, he's not just going to go back to bed there and lay on his feet all day. He's going to be up. They're going to feel comfortable. I've watched them feel comfortable being in this type of habitat where it's nice, thick, lush security cover, but also has good browsing opportunity for them. So they'll bed, they'll get on their feet, they'll move short distances and stuff like that to browse. And what makes this so ideal is I'm going to be able to slip in with my kayak right on the river while they're all feeding on the beans at night. And you can see I've got 10 yards. So coming up the river, come down here, I'm gonna have it on the shore somewhere where I'm just gonna be able to get in it, slip down the river, put it on the shore here, crawl up. I have to cross 10 yards of land to get up into the tree and get up in here. So that's what I'm looking for when it comes to like feeling good about hunting a morning, especially during the early season. It takes a lot of factors coming together, but definitely worth hunting that early season in the mornings. If you're like me and you're hunting on 2-3 day trips out of state, things like that, there's something to be said about being out there in the mornings and being in an observation situation where you feel like you're not going to be able to kill, but you can see things to maybe help yourself in the evening. Like that can work and that's good, but it's nice to have situations like this too, where you can come in the morning and feel like you can actually, have potential to actually kill a buck on a morning sit in the early season. So, but yeah, this is kind of what I'm looking for, and this is basically looks like the perfect setup for kind of exactly what you need that time of year. Security cover for them to be able to move through confidently, feeding a long ways off instead of a short distance, a nice worn down bed, along with, there's secondary bedding across this whole area backing here up against the river. I mean, they're bedding in the ragweed all over. So you'll have a lot of deer moving through here, but that spot there seemed to be like where the big guys hanging out. And so if I can get a northwest or a straight west wind early season, that'll be the plan, is to slip in here on opening weekend. So